Slide number 10, remember we're watching and listening as well as writing down what I'm writing down on the video. The height h of a ball after t seconds when it's thrown up into the air with an initial speed of 160 feet per second from initial height of 5 feet can be modeled by the function, and then we have this function. So we're always going to type in if we have expressions or equations, and then I'm also going to make a little table up here to remind you that here this t is in the x spot and t is talking about time. And then our h of t is like saying y equals, and that's talking about our height. So every time we have a point, remember that your first number is talking about time, your second number is talking about your height. Okay, so we're going to go type that in, and it says when will the ball reach 261 feet? That's height. So we want to know when 261 is in that right column, that y column. Okay, so let's go. You're going to scroll down and you're going to type it in, and I'm going to try to type it in exactly like it is, and that worked. You might see this to begin with, so you're going to pinch, pull, and drag until you can see what's going on. This one is not a very good view. If you click, shift, and drag your mouse, or if you're using an iPad, you can stretch the axis to kind of spread it out a little bit more so that you can see what's going on if you want to see. We will sketch that picture because we know that when we do things on Desmos, we need to show what we're doing. And then I also want to show you a couple different ways. If you have your finger on the parabola, you can go until it says 261, but my fingers don't always get it exactly. Oh, it did that time. So it doesn't always show it exactly, but what you can do is you can also change it with the gear to a table, and it also populates some values, and you can see right there, there's that 261. Now, I want you to go ahead and enter several more times, and that'll give you several more dots on your parabola. 261, and then 261 happens there again. So if you'll notice right here, it happens at 2 seconds and 8 seconds because it's going up and then it's also coming back down. So we have our 2 seconds and 8 seconds. So we're going to sketch what we saw. It looks like that. And at 2 seconds right here and 8 seconds. So we're going to sketch that point 261, and then 8, 261. And so our answers are 2 and 8 seconds. You're going to do part B on your own by doing the same thing. You can look at that table that we just made. And then we also have this right here, H parentheses 3, and give a verbal interpretation. So the verbal interpretation, it looks like I don't have answer blanks for that, so I don't know if I didn't paste it in or if maybe it's on one that you have to do by yourself. So we're going to extend that question. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and see if I can actually type in. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can go type in H is on my alpha screen, and then parentheses 3. And if you'll notice, an answer popped up, and so that's what we get, and we don't have to do any more work. What is happening is we are plugging a 3 into the t spot in that equation. So it said 341. So what happened is it went through, and everywhere that it had a t, it plugged in a 3. Okay, so it did negative 16 times 3 squared plus 160 times 3 plus 5. So since we're showing work, that's some work that you can show what happened. Okay, and that point, I'm going to go ahead and fill in this 261. And we had, whenever it was a 3, it would have been 341. So if you look back at your labels, that's going to tell you the verbal interpretation. So we're going to say at 3 seconds, and we're talking about a ball. So we'll say the ball is, and then this 341 is talking about high. 341, what are we talking about? 341, is it feet? Yes, feet high. And so that's the verbal interpretation of what H parentheses 3 means. It means how high is the ball at 3 seconds, and then we found our answer, and there's our verbal interpretation. Please make sure that you have this written down on your paper that you're going to turn in so that we know that you